Would you like a million people following you on social media, such as Instagram? When you put out a social media post, would you like tons and tons of people to engage, like, and comment? We're going to discuss revolutionizing social media marketing with Luke Lintz.
We ended up scaling the business to 7 figures in revenue just with Instagram marketing, 100% Instagram marketing. Right now, no matter practically whatever business or industry that you're in, you should be focusing on TikTok right now.
Thanks for joining in with us. I'm excited to have some fun today about what may be my most favorite subject. Well, aside from podcasting, that is. So here you are, you've got a product, you've got a service, maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you're just pushing things along, trying to get to that next level. You know, you're slaving away, you really want to get your product, your service to catch hold in the public eye. So here's the flash quiz question. What's the most important thing that you can do? Hey, it's a no-brainer, right? You got to tell people. And unless you got a ton of bucks to throw at it, you're going to use social media. And even if you do have a ton of bucks to throw at it, you're still going to use social media. And that's what I did to take my show to over 35 million listens in 7 years, all on social media. Yeah, it works. And if you know how to do it even somewhat right, it just really takes off. And that begs the question, are there right ways and wrong ways to do social media? You probably already know the answer to that. We all have our experience. So I want you to get ready for this one. It's a hot topic. We're going to discuss revolutionizing social media marketing with Luke Lintz. And while we're at it, this is all about helping you and your friends turn your vision into reality. Hey, we want to help you get really successful at growing your business to a high sustainable level. And we're going to help turn you into an elite entrepreneur. Meet Luke Lintz. Now, this is probably the first time I'll give you a short bio of our guest by asking you questions. I've never done this before. I'm always telling you about the guest and giving you what they've done and some of their highlights. But I'm going to start his bio by asking you some questions. Question number 1. Would you like a million people following you on social media, such as Instagram? Question number 2. When you put out a social media post, would you like tons and tons of people to engage, like, and comment? Well, hey, if you're like me, you're already at the edge of your chair and you're thinking, yeah, of course. Well, this is what Luke does. And you can see that on his own Instagram. I think that says enough. Let's get into it. Hi, Luke. Welcome to the Tony DUrso Show.
Tony, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
The pleasure is mine. We're all looking forward to learning about revolutionizing social media marketing. And before we kind of get into the nuts and bolts, Luke, you're a young kid, if I can say that, if that's politically correct. Please don't bash me for that. How did it all start for you? What's your backstory?
Yeah, Tony, thanks for asking, and thanks for everybody listening. This is going to be a really cool show, and I hope to drop some absolute gems. But where it all started in my kind of entrepreneurial journey is I didn't really look at it as an entrepreneurial thing until retrospectively, like looking back on it. But in high school, I went on a platform called Kijiji, which was like the equivalent of Craigslist in Canada, and I bought and sold things. I basically bought and sold used bicycles, and I bought and sold TVs, and I made a quick $100, $200, $300 profit. And I guess that is something that was like very entrepreneurial that I did just right off the bat, just trying to make a quick profit in high school, pay for things like my cell phone and things like that. And then nothing really happened from that until going into grade 11. I was brainstorming some business ideas with my older brother, even though not having any business experience ever. I'm in high school, and it was with my older brother and his really good friend at the time. And we thought of the idea of completely wireless earbuds. And there was no wireless earbuds on the market at the time. There was no such thing as Apple AirPods, Samsung Galaxy Gear Icon, nothing like that. And we thought of the idea. And so there was nothing on the market in all of the US or internationally. And so we went onto a site called Alibaba, and it's basically a Chinese wholesale site that allows you to bulk purchase inventory of certain products. And we found a pair of wireless earbuds on there, and we're like, this is perfect. We ordered a sample and we basically purchased that, and we were like, this is it. We're going to start rolling with this. We accumulated all of our money at the time, which was about $9,000, and we purchased 500 units of these wireless earbuds. So we had these wireless earbuds, have absolutely no business knowledge, no social media knowledge, no idea how to market. We just knew we had this product that was really good and we needed to find a way to sell it. So we went to the only platform we knew at the time, which was Instagram, because we used it personally, and figured out a way how to market these wireless earbuds. And so what we started is we started up an Instagram page, and we were like, what will make us gain traction and gain eyeballs? Because if we can gain eyeballs, and if they see this product, they'll want to purchase it because there's nothing like this on the marketplace. And so what we did is we created what's called a meme page. And so we simply posted really viral meme and like topic related posts on Instagram, simply just to gain viewers and followers onto our Instagram page. Had nothing to do with the product at the time. And it was literally just to gain views and followers. And we did just that. We reposted other people's viral content on our page. And then in the caption of the post, we talked about our wireless earbuds. And from that, we were able to make sales just by getting hundreds of thousands of views on these meme page style videos. And so after that, basically, it just accumulated where we started filming our own content around the wireless earbuds, and what we did was school skits. So we created skits of us inside of high schools and universities, and basically product placed the wireless earbuds into our videos and found a way for our own skits to go viral. So then this was like our entry point into branding, pretty much, where we went from creating these meme style videos into us creating our own videos and having the product placed in it. We ended up scaling the business to 7 figures in revenue just with Instagram marketing, 100% Instagram marketing. And there was a ton of flaws with the business in terms of product-based business. We overpurchased on inventory outside of wireless earbuds and made a lot of like very fundamental mistakes. And we realized what we were really good at was building up an Instagram presence and building social media brands. And so it was at that point where we made 7 figures, very little profit. We actually took out a loan and went in debt. And it just made sense to transition to an agency where we helped others build up their social media presence, because that's what we were really good at.
Luke, this is astounding, and I'm stuck on you've been selling these and you learned how to work Instagram. You're making 7 figures. That's, for us entrepreneurs and business people in the audience, is like, hey, that's cool. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing. But wait a second, as you just said, you transition now. So where did this vision come from that now, oh, wait, we're going to help other people do this and help them grow their social media? How did that all evolve and come about?
Yeah, so the transition point is actually a really good point. And it came from us with what I like to call the luxury of no other options, because at the time of the transition, we didn't have any other options. So what happened is we made 7 figures of revenue specifically with just the wireless earbuds. So we had our egos going. I was in high school at the time, and I'm like, on paper, in revenue numbers, we literally are millionaires, whatever you account for that. And the profit was absolutely nothing because we were running on like 10 to 15% profit margins. And we thought, our egos got involved and we were getting greedy. And we thought that any single additional product that we created, which we ended up creating wireless speakers, and then we created a charging backpack, and then we created all of these other products that were in like the consumer electronics space. And we thought just any single product that we created and put out into the same marketing system that we had with Instagram marketing would work and click with our audience. And it didn't work that simply. And we ended up getting greedy. We overpurchased on the inventory that wasn't proven in the marketplace, and we didn't test in the marketplace beforehand. And we ended up losing out on a lot of money, warehousing fees, shipping fees, a lot of places that we just didn't account for. But the thing that was consistent through it all is our Instagram was consistently growing, the engagement was consistently growing, followers consistently growing, and we were consistently able to bring in sales of our good products that through our social media. And so what ended up happening during that transition is we had our backs up against the wall. We had a lot of inventory that we purchased that was just sitting there. And that's the cash basically just sitting in inventory. And basically, we had to find something to transition into. And I was out for lunch this one day with my mom and my two brothers. And we have this person right behind us who's a real estate investor talking with his assistant, and he's talking with his assistant and just bashing on his current social media team. It was hilarious, just right behind us, just coincidentally. And my mom overheard that and knows that we're running a business primarily in social media, of course. And the man, his name's Stefan Arnio, and he walks up and he's leaving the table, and my mom waves him down and says, "Excuse me, sir, I heard you're talking about social media. Were you talking about social media?" And he's like, "Yes, I was." And Stefan's like, why you ask? And my mom's like, well, my two sons are actually unbelievable social media marketers. They're experts in their field. And then Stefan looks over at me. He's like, how old are you? And I said that I'm 18. And then he's like, how old are you, to my older brother? And he's like, I'm 21. He's like, perfect. Come to my office. And he writes down his number on a postcard and he gives it to me. And that entire night, I put together a contract, a proposal to send to him, give him a call, and I said I'm going to come to his office the next day. I ended up going to his office, pitching him, and closing him on a $5,000 per month social media package that involved managing his Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, exactly what we did for our own brands. And it turned out very successful. And then it literally just turned into an agency from that. He ended up referring over other business. He ended up partnering with us on the agency. And then it ended up scaling up from that.
That's absolutely amazing. And as part of this, I understand that there's this need to earn income, make revenue. We need that to pay our bills, eat food. But is there some purpose behind this? Like you could have gone in, you could have found another product that people really needed that was hard to get. Why did you go into this? What's the purpose behind that?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great question of like the purpose behind everything. And what I thought, so we didn't really go into the original business, the wireless earbud business, in terms of wanting to sell wireless earbuds for the rest of our lives. We just found an opportunity. We wanted wireless earbuds, and so it just transitioned into a business. In terms of going into in terms of going into the agency and starting to offer social media services, and now to like what we do now, which is social media management, social media growth, press and publications, really just developing people's digital brands. The reason we went into this is because it's our passion in life. Like I literally love growing other people's brands. I love giving people, very high level individuals, a a greater audience exposure than they currently have, and being able to project their voice to where they deserve to be. I always say this in like calls with potential clients. Like the majority of very high level individuals in whatever industry, real estate investors, anything, the majority of these very high level individuals have a very massive physical presence that their social media and their digital brands don't match up with. And it just doesn't make any sense. For example, a real estate investor that has a $100 million portfolio and like 10,000 followers on social media just doesn't match up, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's actually lowering their overall credibility by having a weak social media presence. And I just love getting them to the point of their legitimacy where it matches up with their physical business and exceeds it.
That's very smart. I like the way you look at it. We're going to get more into it. We're talking about revolutionizing social media marketing with Luke Lintz, and you can find him at lukelintz.com, LUKELINTZ.com, and you'll find links to his business and so forth there. So check that out. It's quite something. Luke, let's get into your vision path. As mentioned before, we're entrepreneurs, we're business owners. Help us learn. Let's start here. What advice would you give us if we're starting a business and we want to get into social media? What would you say would be the first platform that we should really look into getting involved with?
For sure. Right now, no matter practically whatever business or industry that you're in, you should be focusing on TikTok right now. And where we're going into in 2023, 2024, it's all short form video content. And so we do a strategy with our social media clients that literally anybody listening to this can copy. And it's a really good social media strategy for any single business, any single public figure. And it's a great takeaway. So it's when you're focusing on short form video content, you focus on TikTok first, and you basically, depending upon whatever industry you're in, you first need to find the content that you're going to be creating. So you want to create a blank TikTok account. And from this blank TikTok account, you want to be going to the industry leaders in your specific industry, or if you're a public figure, going to other public figures that you think are posting content that's great for your niche, and start liking the videos that are the most viral videos that you think that you could replicate on this fresh new TikTok account. What will happen is when you go to the homepage of your TikTok account, of this fresh new one that you start liking people in your industry or other people that you resemble, it'll start populating with the most viral pieces of content in your specific industry. And you start liking and saving the ones that you think that you could replicate. TikTok feasts off of replication and duplication. It's a Chinese-based company. And so literally you just save all of the ones that you think that you could replicate, and you do it in your own way, whether it's a trend, whether it's like the way it's created in a specific way. Obviously, it's going to create a lot of work and effort. This is very easier said than done. But once you do that, you will start getting viral pieces of TikTok content in your specific industry. Once you start posting those on your TikTok, the most viral pieces of content, or really any single TikTok video, you can go to TikTok, save without a watermark on Google, copy your TikTok link, paste it in there, download the TikTok video, and now you have this TikTok video without a watermark on it, and you post it on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. And you did that all with the timing of just the TikTok. And it's a strategy that we do for a lot of our clients, and it proves amazing, especially when you're pumping out enough content where you're able to just take the viral TikTok videos. You notice that TikTok is a great like resemblance of what virality is. So any video that goes viral on TikTok goes viral on Instagram Reels, goes viral on Facebook Reels, and goes viral on YouTube Shorts.
That's a brilliant strategy, and I really like that, and I'm gonna listen to this again and evaluate that for myself. But the one thing I'm thinking about is these videos, they're short. I mean, I watch YouTube Shorts and other short videos. They're very short, they're very quick, they're very funny, they're punchy, and I'm thinking this kind of shows my naivety on it, how that sells or makes one known for their product. I guess there's a bio there on the TikTok. So I'm not really familiar with the TikTok. I don't know that how many in the audience are. So maybe I'm asking this question for on behalf of a number of us. Whatever I'm saying, okay, I replicated something that's viral. I get that. It gets a lot of exposure. I get that. But then people start following me and seeing what I'm about, and then uh, warm up to my products and services, I presume?
For sure. Yeah. Again, this goes into whatever industry that you're in. So like you're copying videos that are within your industry. So it's not like you're creating these viral pieces of content and then there's completely different ones, the completely different videos that you're posting. Like for example, you, Tony, like you're in, say, like if you were going after podcast people, like I would be following the top podcast people, top like maybe Joe Rogan, what they're posting, maybe like Alex Hermosi, look at what they're posting, some other like top people in like the podcast space, top business podcasts, and be liking their most viral pieces of content and then recreating it a certain way. A lot of them edit their videos, so it's a bit harder because they don't create custom content for it. So it is a bit more difficult specifically with that. But it's specifically for like a product-based business. And will this lead to like sales specifically? I think of growing a social media presence as building your brand and not direct response marketing. Huge difference between like direct ads on TikTok ads, Facebook ads, and YouTube ads compared to building up your social media presence. And I tell this to the clients all the time. In terms of building the brand is to giving you an infinite ROI. For example, with Facebook ads, if you're running a Facebook ad or a TikTok ad, you're judging the results of those ads directly off of the ROI, return on investment. You spend $1 and you want to get $2 out of it. It's not the exact same with putting content out there, because you're getting that viewership. They're going to you, they're following your page, and then they're seeing your other content and marinating it. Usually, depending upon the industry or the product that the client is selling, we usually like pushing people towards long form content in order for them to marinate in that content and be more custom and trusted with your brand. And so usually with the short form content strategy, if our clients have enough time to create content, we do the short form content strategy, and then we do YouTube as the long form content, where we direct the majority of the traffic towards the YouTube page.
I'm thinking with all that, and this is definitely something all new to me, and I really like it. So, so to just kind of recap that, the first thing that you think we should get into is do the two YouTube, the TikTok actually, and then and then put that and share that on the other social media platforms. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And that means it's now the best time. That means it's a great time to just kind of do that and follow that and put that energy into the social media on a strategy like this. Now, if they need help, of course, they can go to you. They can go to you for help, I'm sure, because there is a bit of editing, and it's, it's daunting. Even these shorts, you look at them, they're like some really serious production numbers there. So you have to take a look at that. We're not necessarily all video experts, but if you're good at video, you can definitely do it on your own, I think. And with that, I'm thinking, is that okay? So that was the first thing that, because I asked you what was the first thing that we should do. Now, should we not want to grow from there, grow rapidly on other major media? We've got our TikTok, we've got our little shorts going. What do we do next?
Yeah, for this question, I would love to break down every single social media platform and
Okay.
basically the audience to listen to the breakdown of every single social media platform. And then from that, depending upon the industry, the business you're in, or at the starting level you're at, you can get a good grasp of where should I be starting type thing. And I think this would give the most value. So if we look at YouTube as the first platform. YouTube is an SEO powerhouse. That means it's SEO optimization. YouTube is owned by Google. And so the majority of YouTube videos will perform extremely well over a longer period of time because people will be searching for specific videos. So all of the videos that we post on YouTube have to be SEO optimized. It's primarily for people to be searching for the rest of their lives. We think of YouTube videos 10-year span where people will constantly be searching for that topic, and unless we just don't post it. We never start up a YouTube channel for a client as their first social media channel. It just doesn't work. You just never do it. You won't get the traction. You have to have a base somewhere else on a YouTube channel, just with how competitive it is. With that being said, the caveat is I would start up a YouTube channel for just YouTube shorts to be reposting your TikTok videos from it. So that's YouTube. If we go to Instagram, Instagram is the digital business card of today. Every single person, for the most part, on most age groups, majority will go to Instagram primarily when you introduce them to someone. I think, Tony, you even introduced me to my Instagram first. I think probably for most of your podcast guests, you would probably like maybe do the website and then Instagram, but Instagram primarily. When you're meeting somebody in person, it's always the exchange of the Instagram. So I always say how Instagram's the digital business card. Now, what that means is Instagram's engagement is constantly declining. And it's going to be on a constant decline because we're in a very competitive market in the social media environment. And it's just going to get more competitive. And the user attention span and viewership is going to be going away from Instagram in the future. And it's just inevitable. And so, with that being said, so with the combination of engagement numbers going down and it being a digital business card for your business, I think it's very critical for you to have an extremely good presence, no matter where you're at in your business, personal brand, just having an extremely good presence on your Instagram. That means professional photos. That means the first like 9 posts of your Instagram feed looking really good, that you have at least 1 or 2 Instagram highlights, meaning that like when you post an Instagram story, you save them to your highlights with professional graphics on them, just like how you would do a business card. You put a lot of time. I remember when some of my mentors and stuff would tell me how much time they would put into their business cards and stuff. And just people don't put that same emphasis on their Instagram presence. And so really, I don't focus that much on virality with our clients with Instagram. And it's more just making sure that their audience, that their current audience is really like captivated on their content, and that their page, whenever somebody goes to their page, they know what it is in the first 0.2 seconds of looking at it. And that looks really nice and is a good representation of their business. TikTok, by far right now, is the number one natural engagement platform that there is. There will always be platforms that will come up like this where the natural engagement will be far superior than other platforms. And right now it's TikTok, and it's been this way for the past year. It's not like you're too late or that you missed the boat if you don't go on TikTok. Just do the strategy that I just said about TikTok, and you'll start gaining some traction, specifically in your industry. It's really key that whatever content that you're posting, especially short form video content, that you're posting about stuff that you're knowledgeable about. The last thing you want to be doing is regurgitating content that you're not actually knowledgeable about just to be like looking smart in that specific industry. And then the other ones we don't have to go too in depth with, but LinkedIn, mainly for business stuff. We use LinkedIn a lot for hiring. It's actually unbelievable for hiring, and it's super underutilized. But having a good brand presence on there goes a very, very long way for candidates. And I found that you can find some like extremely talented, all kinds of talent. We found press managers, social media managers, all by posting a job post, having a good profile, and them looking us up on other platforms. Then Facebook, we found that Facebook groups has always been something that's been really big over the past 3 years. Facebook Reels is something they've been prioritizing, and that you can actually get some really good engagement on. And then Twitter's the only platform for short form written content, and it really has a market dominance over that. It's been really weird ever since Elon Musk has taken over it. So I don't really spend too much time on Twitter. I'm kind of waiting to see how things go with that. But I think from that, people can get a good idea of each social media platform, see where they're at, and see where they want to take it.
I really like that advice, and I'm thinking with this on many levels. And the one thing I want to kind of split off a little bit is when I talked about and introduced on this show, where we have a product, we have a service, we want to launch it, we want to talk about, and I kind of directed everything down social media. But old school, maybe today, I don't know, but old school, when you have a product or service, the first thing you do is you advertise. And a lot of people to this day, I don't know how many millions, will go on something like Google and start taking out Google ads and promote their product and service. And what we're doing here is we're saying, hey, you should really punch up the social media, get that to really rock on, and how and why, and some strategy. And so like I want to compare, because some people are going, oh, what about just advertising? You talked about the what is it, $2 to $1 that you'd like to make when you do like Facebook ads or whatever. But Google ads consistently, I mean, people are spending 20, 30, $50 or more for a lead, but the quality is good and it makes them money. So can you compare Google now in all this mix?
For sure. Yeah, no, this is an awesome thing to get into. But it's Google ads, but it's also like any form of direct advertising. Like if we talk about Facebook ads, TikTok ads, that as well, YouTube video ads too. And it's really the combination of setting aside the differentiation between the money you're spending on your brand and the money you're spending on direct advertising. And so what we do is we always build up somebody's brand first to a certain point, but before like really ramping up the direct ads. For example, if you are spending money on Google ads, somebody clicks on your website, but then somebody clicks on your social media presence and doesn't see anything significant there. Or for example, if we get into the topic of press and articles and TV features, which is something else that we offer and work for with our clients, is that when you're running Google ads and the only thing they see is your website, and then they search up your business name on Google and nothing else comes up besides your website, that's a problem. That's like not establishing credibility. That's not other people talking about your business. And so same with Facebook ads, TikTok ads and stuff, is that if you're running all of these direct ads without a good solid brand presence, you're losing out on so much potential revenue because they're coming and you're getting the eyes seeing your business, but then they're leaving because the trust factor isn't there. And in my mind, I don't want to be wasting all of those ad dollars to be getting all of this viewership and all of these eyes to come seeing a brand that isn't extremely established. And I can say firsthand is that we've made, we ran Facebook ads as our first stuff. We ran Instagram and Facebook ads as our first stuff before growing our social media presence. And the results were abysmal, even though Facebook ads and Instagram ads were way cheaper than they are today. But now we run Instagram ads and Facebook ads about our social media press services. And the results are phenomenal because whenever they're seeing the Facebook or Instagram ad and they click on the profile, they see our 1 million followed Instagram page verified, and they see all of our client testimonials on there, and it speaks for itself. They're booking a call with us, with our team, because they know that the trust factor is there. And that's how I kind of bring things with the clients as well.
I like that. That's very good, and it gives me more insight as well as, and I hope to our audience as well, so that they can compare and make the good decision and good choices. Because I think you still have to do some advertising, especially. I mean, so many big brand names advertise, and they're giants on social media as well. I think both. It's the two-pronged approach. I think both are super important, but maybe one at a time depending on the budget. One thing I wanted to ask about this is these social media companies that we mentioned, they change their algorithms, logarithms, their whatever, their protocols change. For me personally, I still get a great response on Twitter. And I agree with you on Instagram. The engagement kind of goes down, and my followers go up and the engagement goes down. Things change. And we don't know what the future is going to come, but I'd like to know about some of the challenges perhaps that you're having now or you're seeing come up, especially in social media. If you can kind of help us see where are we going with all this.
Yeah, huge challenges overall with clients that are just getting going. Usually, those are the biggest challenges where we actually see that there's just a huge separation where it's even harder to just get going, but it's even easier for our clients who are already established to keep going to the next level. And that's just because there's so many people on social media across all of the social media platforms, but there's so much competition and the barrier to entry is so easy. So when you have so much competition in an industry and the barrier to entry is so easy, it's just extremely hard to compete, and you have to set yourself out in a very unique way. And unfortunately, you have to dedicate a lot of time to it, and it's not going to come overnight. And so when we like quote unquote sell our clients that are like have an amazing like business and are wanting to get into social media, and like they're say a top 1% entrepreneur business, and they want to get their social media to match their business physically to like their actual online brand, we let them know that it's not going to be an overnight thing. Just like growing their business, it's the same aspect that you don't expect your business to get to that level overnight. It's that exact same thing with social media. And it's about putting in the time, putting in the effort, and constantly innovating just like you do in your business. And it is about dedicating the time. Hiring an agency isn't necessarily being like, okay, now I'm not going to do absolutely anything. It's to give you the pathway to get to it faster. And you're still going to have to put in the time, put in the effort.
So true. And last but not least, your company does press and TV, and I'm wondering if there's any wisdom or gems that you can give us and share with us about press and TV that you guys do.
For sure. Yeah. Just some, yeah. So we do high level publications and TV features for our clients, and really just getting them to rank right at the top of Google, because we want their first and second page to be filled with like other people talking about them. And we do that through a series of, depending upon the packages, we mainly do like earned media. So where we take the client's story, see if they have a really good story, and then we pitch it to all of our journalist connections that we have at various outlets via several different methods. But some actual things that people can do if they're wanting to get like a higher Google ranking presence right off the bat, Well, one is the YouTube thing that I was talking about, making sure that all of your YouTube descriptions, titles, if you're on YouTube, titles and descriptions match up with your website keywords, and they'll eventually start ranking when people start searching up your business name or personal name. So making sure all of those match up together. Another thing is signing up for free article platforms as a contributor. And so what you can do is you can go to platforms like medium.com, amazing platform, has a 91 domain authority, and you can sign up to be a contributor on that platform. Basically what that means is you get a certain amount allocated slots where you can write articles that include aspects about your business. And of course you have to spend the time, or you could hire somebody on your team, but you have to spend the time to be writing those articles. But it'll say published under Luke Lintz. Great free alternative, basically like posting blog posts, but using other people's domain authority and all the money that they spend on their SEO. That's a really good takeaway. Another good takeaway is if you don't have the money to spend on public relations, but you think that you have a really good story that could get picked up in the news type thing, a really good thing is to look for journalists that are writing about your specific topic or your specific industry, just by searching on Google if it's a very unique topic, looking at articles that published in that specific topic or industry, and then finding the journalist name that wrote about that, going onto their social media presence and sending them a DM, or finding their email through like a Chrome extension called like Lead Hunter, sending them an email. Again, this is like a lot of work, but again, if you don't have the utilities like money to pay for services, like you have to get scrappy with the methods of making sure you get that Google presence up.
Those are some very good suggestions there. And there's other ways too. I think there's something called Hero Help a Reporter Out, where journalists are looking for not answers, but information about certain topics, and they post those topics. And if you're an expert on one of those topics, you get a chance to submit and perhaps get picked up, things like that. So many good ideas. I think if these ideas that we just talked about were followed, a business couldn't help but just really get out there and increase their social presence and their authenticity and their authority on social media. So I really appreciate that. Once again, we spoke about revolutionizing social media marketing with Luke Lintz, and you can find him again at lukelintz.com. Luke, thank you so much for sharing with us today. You gave us a gold mine of information. I am so grateful on behalf of our audience. Thank you so much.
Tony, thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody for listening. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with me while I featured an elite entrepreneur who took his vision to reality. We spoke about revolutionizing social media marketing with Luke Lintz. We talked about so many things social media. I loved it. For example, what's the first platform that you should get into when you're starting your business or you just want to grow your business? And he even talks about doing it all fresh with TikTok. It's such great advice. He gave us a good breakdown on social media. We talked about how to rapidly grow on major media platforms. We talked about different strategies, and we talked about what's perhaps the most important social media platform that you should be on. We talked about advertising versus promotion on social media, advertising on Facebook, advertising on Google. We talked about social media challenges, press and TV. So many good points. I'm going to listen to this again. And please tell me what hit home with you on this. I'd love to know. And please share this with a few friends to help them too. All right. Okay. Let's use this and let's help you move on your journey to success. Thanks. And remember, just take action. Success awaits those who persevere and remain steadfast despite the odds. Sow good seeds, do good deeds, and join me on the next episode of The Tony DUrso Show.